Hi, I'm Dr. Stavros Mento. I'm a practicing chiropractor and Atlas orthogonist in the Quad Cities, Rock Island to be specific. The name of our practice is Harmony Chiropractic Arts. And today we have the opportunity of interviewing Mrs. Kimberly Steele, who is, I might add, a noted cosmetologist, a professional who practices in the area here in Rock Island. And she has a very compelling story to share. And not only that, but I think it also speaks of the human drama involved in finding healing and finding answers, especially for life. So without any further ado, let's have Kimberly here speak to us, and thank you for being here to share your story with us today.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure.
You're very welcome, and you started care with us on April 13th, a very special day, a Wednesday, I remember that, and things have been different since.
Yes.
And I know that there's a lot that happened before April 13th.
Yes.
And although it might be challenging for you, we appreciate you sharing our story today.
Happy to do it. When I was 3 years old, that's where all the health problems started. I guess I don't remember exactly how it started, but I just remember I was very little and my knee was swollen like grapefruit, and it was hot and it had a lot of heat in it and fluid, and my mother, they just kept asking me, did you fall, did you fall? And I remember crying and telling them, I didn't fall, and they're trying to figure out what happened. My grandfather was a doctor, and he would check it out and look at it and try to drain some fluid out. Well, then he directed me to one of the orthopedic specialists in the area. There was actually only one when I was young. They did blood work on me, and they drained my knee, and they injected things into it, like cortisone, and the tendons were shortening to the point where I was walking with the leg bent, so I couldn't even walk properly. And so they ended up having to straighten my leg, and I had to take a ton of baby aspirin every day, five times a day. I remember with milk, so it didn't upset my stomach, which, as you know, today you don't give children aspirin. For Reye's syndrome, the scare. And I always ran a fever because of the inflammation in my body. I was an extremely sick little girl. 106 fever was nothing. Nothing. I would just be walking across the room and my eyes would roll back in my head and my mother would freak. And then I had a cast on my leg for, I remember, through kindergarten and first grade. And then after a couple years, it went from like this bad bend down to, I mean, they got it straight. They realized through blood work I had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So I was on antibiotics for 5 or 6 years just to, they thought that would help. And then blood work to check where, because my white blood cell count was extremely high.
This was when you were 3
till 8, 9. I guess I was just trying to live like a normal little kid. The doctor that was working on me said that when I started puberty, things may go into remission a little bit. When I was 17 then, that's when I started having severe migraines. They gave me tons of medication for that. I had to take medication for the migraine, for throwing up and things, and I would probably throw up at least once a week or every other week. Then at age 20, I broke out in eczema all over. And so that was kind of hard, especially I just became a hairdresser. And so that was kind of a challenge there with water and everything. And then at 22, it just like everything was so autoimmune from a child. It's like it all came back. And then when I was 22, I couldn't breathe. I mean, I was having trouble breathing. I couldn't inhale, I couldn't exhale, I couldn't do anything. And so they kept giving me antibiotics for that, thinking I had a chest cold. And of course, I didn't. I ended up going to an asthma specialist, and they gave me other medications for that. I left with 3 and 4 inhalers, which at the time I thought helped.
3 or 4 inhalers?
Yeah, different ones. At least 3 different ones.
And you had to take these on and off during the
And
day?
oh yeah, and sinus medications.
Sinus medications.
And also they started me on theophylline, which it's a drug that they have to test the levels in your bloodstream, which I was still on that from age 22 till I came to see you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So we're talking years and years and years of
All of
that.
those years, and that's 20 years almost of drugs, just theophylline itself.
When I was 23, I woke up one day and my knee was big again. And
At 23 it came back?
the next year. So a friend of mine said, my mom has pain in her knee and stuff, so maybe it's just the weather. I thought, no, this is not the weather. I remember this. And so, sure enough, it started crippling up again. And then they started doing knee surgeries. I had 2 knee surgeries.
You had 2 knee surgeries?
To clean out the stuff because it was all deteriorating in there. And it turned out, through blood work, the rheumatoid was back. So then I'm dealing with the migraines, the eczema, and the asthma, and now the rheumatoid is back, which is all kind of connected as autoimmune.
Right.
Well, on top of all that, I, of course, couldn't sleep because of the pain. Had pains where I just, other than just the joints, it was just in my muscles, and they said then I had fibromyalgia on top of all that. So then, of course, they gave me more medications, and then on top of all that for pain and sleeping, and then why wouldn't you? I got depressed.
Right.
So then I had to take a few things for the depression, and then that had side effects. And I'm 42 now.
42 now, and you had all of that going on back in your 20s or
For 20 years.
20 years, all of that going on.
All that, at least. I mean, if you count the childhood, it's been 40 years.
Right.
Almost. 37. We'll just say that. But, I had no idea I would ever wake up in the morning and not take medication. Ever. I get up in the morning now and I eat my breakfast. I don't take a pile of drugs every day that I did. And it's almost like that was a bad dream.
Can you tell everyone about how you woke up every day? Yeah,
every day
yes.
I opened my eyes and I had to decide then and there, okay, Kim, you need to decide right now before your feet hit the floor what kind of a day you're going to choose to have. Because if I had a bad attitude with it, it just made everything that much worse. So I actually went to work and tried to forget I felt bad. And then when I came home, it's like everything I pushed so hard during the day that it just
come back on you, and you'd have to deal with this. And
yeah.
I know this must have had also psychological effects for your family, your children.
I think it scared them that they saw mom sick all the time. So, and of course they're going to think they're sick. They're going to be sick. And it did turn out that they did have asthma.
And they had asthma.
Yeah, so just because,
And this was your daily life, just every day like this.
Yeah.
Really amazing that, you're able to continue your life with that. In a moment, there is something quite shocking to me, even today, that we were taping this. I had, as one of your favorite sayings to me is, you have no idea. Well, Kim proved true on that one again, because today on the taping, she was going to bring in the medications that she had told me about in her case history. And it was only until today that I had an idea of the magnitude of what this person was living with, what Kim was living with on a daily basis. So we'll have a chance now to show you a little bit about what that world looks like. God.
Yeah, there you go.
That is hard.
That was my life.
You then to just show us the amount of medications that you were taking, and this is roughly about a 6-month supply, is that correct?
Yeah, Yeah.
about that? Okay.
And most of them I took every day, except for there might be a few in there that I took, like, if I had an upset stomach, I had to counteract this with this drug so maybe I took those every other week, but, things like that. I was on an antibiotic at least once a month.
This is 6 months. This is what you would look forward every 6 months. This is what your basic supply was. Surprised, shocked, and educated to a level that I could not even realize when you spoke to me. Even that you gave us a very good case history here.
Yeah, I don't even recall. I think I was too embarrassed to even write down the medications when
you came into us.
Yeah, I just wanted help.
What I'd like to say now is that as of Wednesday, April 13th, 2011, Kim came to our office. I actually came in special because she was a very good person, came down the hallway, would greet us, and very grateful to have her come in. But I came in that day to help you, and
I'm grateful you did.
Well, we're grateful. We're grateful that you gave us an opportunity to help you find another part of your life. And we did adjust you, and maybe you can tell us now a little bit about what it was like after you received your adjustments, your Atlas orthogonal corrections, and what has occurred for you in your life since then.
I had gone to chiropractors in the past where they would manipulate me and just turn me and place me where they thought I needed to be until then my feet would hit the floor and I'd pop back out. And so I guess in a way, honestly, I was a little hesitant to come because I thought, oh, here we go, another chiropractor.
Another chiropractor.
And then when you mentioned the Atlas orthogonal, the whole concept of the Atlas work.
Get your head on straight.
Get your head on straight. It made perfect sense. And when you took my x-rays and I saw the before and after, and of course you started with checking my leg length.
Yes.
I laid down and I remember you said, oh my gosh, my left leg was 1.5 inches longer than my right leg, so no wonder everything hurt when I walked. And so then when I saw the x-rays before and after once you set my Atlas, to me it was the most perfect example, a physiological explanation for why I felt so bad. It made perfect sense. And the minute you set my Atlas, I laid there, I could inhale a full breath and exhale a full breath. First time in years. My sinuses drained. It was as if someone took saran wrap off my eyes and I'm laying there and I could feel my right leg growing. And when my feet hit the floor, my life was different.
It's pretty amazing to me because here we know that when we adjust the Atlas, we expect good results. I had said to Kim, though, as I tell every patient of mine, that after 4 to 6 weeks of care, we expect a minimum of 50 to 100% change in the symptoms that come in when we begin care. And at that point, I think you said something to me.
Oh, yeah, he said to me, I was at like week 3.
Yes.
And just to let you know, if we don't see any change within 4 to 6 weeks, then I just tell my patient, then you can just go and because in other words, he didn't want to just take my money or whatever.
Right.
And
continue care.
And I looked at him and I truly meant it. If you give up on me, I will die. Because I was so close to death's door. I felt it was a struggle every single day to stay alive. And that's how I felt every day. I was just existing another day.
Existing with all those medications being your crutch to try to get you through.
And now I'm living another day. Every day. I get up, I don't even think about what to think when my feet hit the floor. They just hit the floor. I get up and yeah.
And I must say that helping Kim get her health back has been one of the most rewarding experiences in my career, as well in the fact that I've been able to help her family as well. I would like to say also that in helping Kim, I have found the inspiration also to realize, and especially in today's taping, because I had no idea the type of life that people are exposed to out there that don't have the type of care. The Atlas orthogonal adjustment has been a blessing to my life, and then that helped me study as I go twice a year to Atlanta to learn from Dr. Roy Sweat, so that I could have the skills and awareness and how to take care of people. And we are very thrilled today to have you here sharing your story with everyone.
I would like to say I probably broke 5 or 6 fevers just trying to get the drugs out of me. Dr. Mento set my Atlas. I forgot to take my medication, my inhalers, my antidepressants. I forgot to because it was so natural to just, I didn't need them. And before it was, I got to do this every day because I felt so bad. I had no pain, so I'd forget to take. So after a couple days, I went, I'm not going to go back there to that.
You've been holding your Atlas better and better with time. You've just been improving,
I'm getting stronger, and I feel better than I ever have in my life. As a matter of fact, I feel like I've gained 20 years of my life.
We're really thrilled that you're here to share your story, and we've been very grateful also that you've made us aware of how important it is that we study the Atlas Orthogonal program and that I get the word out. And we'd like to just say we're very grateful this evening for you taking the time and bringing every part of you here and showing us what life was like before and after your Atlas.
Well, and truthfully, you don't even need to know any background medical history in order to understand all of this about the Atlas orthogonal work, because it is so simple when you see the difference in number one, your life, and physically on the x-rays. So it'll all make sense why you feel better.
I would invite you all to go to a website called globalao.com, where you can find out more about this form of chiropractic, and certainly you can visit me at harmonychiropracticarts.com. I want to just say, stay well, be well, and do good. Thank you.